Good evening and welcome to the Bit Knitters podcast. It is Monday, May 7th, 2018. My name is Jacqueline. Ryan's here. Or not.
No.
And Arthur's here.
Hey.
How's it going?
It was a pretty good day for me.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I got to spend most of it yelling at children, so, that brightened me up a bit.
Yeah, got them perky and ready for the show. It's like, doing some uppers or something.
Yeah, it's my cocaine, yelling at fucking other people's kids.
Seriously, though, those little shits need to be taken down.
Oh, yeah. When I told the one kid that I caught kids throwing rocks at my dog today through the school field. And the one that I saw throwing the rocks, at one point he was mouthing off, and I told him that if he keeps mouthing off, I'm going to wait for him after school, and I'm going to beat the shit out of his dad in front of him. That shut that kid up so fucking quick. You could just see in his face that he was like, man, I fucked up. I chose the wrong dude.
So good.
Yeah, it was definitely nice. Made me feel like a big tough guy.
Yeah, you're so tough. So tough. Ryan, happy birthday. We won't go into too much detail, but you had a nice, relaxing birthday.
Yeah, as relaxing as it could be, yeah.
Yeah, that's
For
good.
the most part. I was
And
hanging
now
out with
he's only 49 and, 50s next year, so...
What? His
No
Tinder
idea.
profile said 18. Like, you trying to catfish me?
I am 18. I'm a fresh
I'm surprised
fucking
his Tinder profile doesn't say negative 22.
I'm a fresh fucking woman. What are you talking about? Fresh off the pond, the lady pond.
It was funny because I noticed on, you know how Facebook has this on this day?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you can go back and look at your memories from your posts. So on May 4th, Ryan's birthday, like almost all the things I had were birthday messages to Ryan, where I basically told him he was like younger than a fetus. And so
I
some
think
things never
people,
change.
yeah, but the thing I think people do know my age. I'm 20. I turned 28, which is, I guess
Still
whatever.
very young.
Still very
Still
young.
very young.
Well, I spent my birthday with a person who had strep throat and forgot to tell me she had strep throat.
Oh, so you'll have strep throat the end of this week.
I hope so. That's the goal. And then what else? Oh, my allergies were acting up this terrible. Pollen is just terrible, I think, this year. But yeah, I think just whatever. I read books.
Good.
That's it.
Good. Okay, well, let's get into our stories then.
Okay.
Because I think there's one that's going to make Arthur go off. Actually, a couple that are going to make Arthur go off.
Yay.
But so this one comes from my son Logan. He shared this with me, said the story, and I said, okay, send me the link. Now it's coming from the Mirror,
All right.
which is not the most reputable site. The only other links I could find about this story were on the Daily Mail
Ugh.
and the Sun, all coming from the UK, which are not very. I couldn't find on the BBC or London Telegraph or any of those places. So take it for what it's worth. There's an actual video, so the video does exist. That's all I'll say. So there is a drill sergeant type of guy. I don't know what you call him, instructor. He's possibly going to face a court-martial because he was yelling at an army recruit, a female army recruit, and he was yelling at her, and she was reduced to tears. He said things like, "You're fucking weak." He said the funniest one that I read was she thought that she was at the end of it, right? Because she was like stabbing the dummy, right? They use the bayonets to stab the dummy and stuff. So stabbing the dummy, and he's like, "You're not a killer. Get the fuck out of here." And then she thought she was done. And so she started to feel better. He's like, "You're far from the end," right? So he played little mind games on her. And yeah, so now he might lose his job over this. People apparently are outraged and appalled because she cried.
No, he ain't gonna lose shit. That's his job. His job is to break you down emotionally. And I mean literally break you fucking down. The whole point of being a soldier is to overcome said mental obstacles and stuff like that. If somebody yelling at you reduces you to tears, yeah, I don't want you defending our country or the Americans. I don't.
Regardless
You're weak.
of gender.
Exactly.
Regardless
You're
of gender.
fucking weak. You are not the kind of person that I want to be holding a gun or grenades in defense of my life. No, I'm sorry. You're weak.
I will say, though, not to defend this girl, and I'm not really thinking about this girl as much as I'm just thinking about some of the things that we all see and stuff. Sometimes I think it's a little intense.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's like, this is not, this is not kosher, but this is why trials and stuff that they do towards people of the armed forces are different than our regular trials for regular civilians. So we have to kind of also put that into perspective. Now, how do I say this? Now, if you're degrading, because there's a difference. If you're degrading a person and saying you're weak because you're blah, 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 I would kind of maybe understand.
Like if he said you're a dumb bitch woman who can never be in the military, you're weak. I could see that. But I don't, I know I didn't watch the video because apparently it was very loud and the beeping was very loud. So I didn't watch. I just read the article. But I mean, if he said you're fucking weak to the guy next to her who was also performing poorly, you know, she's never seen any movie or Maury Povich episode where the drill sergeants come out and yell.
You didn't watch G.I. Jane before you signed up to the fucking army?
I said exactly G.I. Jane to my son. I'm like, did she never see that?
A lot of sorry.
It's just okay. So let's say this didn't happen. She made it through. She's a fucking serviceman, and she's now put into a war zone. You were crying over some words? What the fuck are you going to do when bullets are flying at you and your friends are lying dead beside you?
Or you have to do some hand-to-hand combat.
Right? You are mentally fucking weak. You are mentally weak. They did you a fucking favor by making sure that you don't end up fucking dead in some fucking sand dune halfway across the fucking world.
It's either building you up and making you stronger, or it's breaking you to the point where you're weeded out because you're not going to make it.
That's a very good point. It's just, we have to understand that this kind of training is
it's
very different. Yeah, it's a test. It's kind of like when you take, this is so dumbed down, and you guys are probably going to laugh. It's like when you take a master class. You guys are familiar with the concept of a master class, right? So a person who's extremely well known in that field kind of perfects your craft already. Like you cannot go in there being a noob. You have to be, experienced. They're not going to be nice. They're not going to praise you and say, but this was nice. They're going to tell you that was complete and utter shit.
Yeah.
So you have to start all over again. There's an elite level, and I think, because I very much respect the armed forces, that's the elite of the elites. I could never do that.
Exactly.
No, me either. That's why I never joined the military. If a man had yelled at me when I was 19, I would have cried too. Because you know what? I wasn't fit to be in the goddamn military. No, but I wasn't mentally or physically fit to be in the military. So I did not join. Here's the thing. For her to be for this to come out because he made a female recruit cry. So what's going to happen now? Now I'm a helicopter parent because I kind of am. My son wants to join the military, and I'm going to go there and hold his hand and say, "Mr. Drill Sergeant, stop yelling at my little boo boo," because he's a sweetheart and he needs his participation medal and his gun. Like, come on.
There it is. And that's what you get with this whole participation trophy award fucking nonsense, gender equality bullshit. Now, I mean, don't take that gender equality thing the wrong way. I do believe that the genders are equal, not in every fucking sense. And that's a perfect example. That's a perfect example. And I'm not saying that there's not men that would break in that scenario. There's absolutely men that would fucking break under that kind of shit. I've seen it. I've watched a lot of fucking shows, documentaries on the Marines, Navy SEALs, and stuff like that. It's not fucking pretty. Like they treat these people like dirt. Like you are a living piece of shit to them. And it's all about breaking you. It's about taking you down to as low as they fucking can to see if you can handle the mental pressure. There's no way in hell this guy's gonna lose his fucking job. There's no way he's gonna get court-martialed. There's no way anything. I can't see it happening.
He shouldn't, and people should be protecting him.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, but that's why for me, it's like I've never joined the army. Because I'm not going to have someone talk down to me. I'm sorry. I don't give a shit if you think you're not going to talk down to me. So if you're that kind of person that just can't handle that kind of crap, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Now I'm not going to, I did not see the video. I'm not going to comment on what happened necessarily in the video. I'm putting this in a very general context. Now, you kind of also have to somewhat assess this on a different point of view. Because there are times, and I like the point that you made with the documentaries. I watch a lot of those too. I love documentaries in general, where you kind of have to go, that may just be a little bit above what should be allowed. That's just my personal opinion, by the way. I'm not trying to...
I watch those and I feel very uncomfortable sometimes,
like, that's too much.
But you put yourself in that situation. You've got to be ready for it, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not talking about physical abuse and I'm not talking about sexual abuse, but you know what? They're giving you mental, because you're going to, if you get captured, you're going to face
fuck.
way more than someone
yeah.
yelling in
my
your
God,
face.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You have to be prepared for it, and that's part of it. That's part
Yeah.
of it.
I don't know if you ever had one of your full fingernails ripped off, but if your words make you cry, you're not cut out for the fucking military. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
Like flat out. You know,
Yeah.
I've never been one to say like, oh, females don't belong in the military. That's some bullshit. That's some absolute fucking bullshit. You'll never ever get me to agree to something stupid like that.
Yeah.
But this is just fucking retarded. Like, this is literally fucking the stupidest goddamn thing I think I've ever fucking heard. You cannot at all fault the military for doing what they've done since the inception of the fucking military.
And it's proven to work.
Right?
To make good
mentally
soldiers.
prepare you to see your friends die. Because chances are some of your friends are going to fucking die.
Yeah.
You know, and it's so fucking dumb. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you this chick was all fucking hoorah, and I'm going to show these jarheads that women can fucking do it. Yeah, but you can't because you're weak. You're fucking weak mentally.
The women that do make the military, they're tough as shit.
Right.
I give them so much credit.
There's female Marines, there's female Navy SEALs, there's female Green Berets, there's female Army Rangers. You know why? Because they're not mentally fucking weak. They're not mentally weak. This bitch is mentally weak. You got what you deserve. Fuck out of here. Your 50 minutes is done.
And to make this to the news and videotape that and make that go to the news. Like, stop whining to the military, to the media.
To me is what
this
it is.
isn't about, you didn't get to go to prom because you want to wear a tuxedo. This is a bigger deal.
Is what this is, though. It isn't even the fact that she couldn't hack it. I'm willing to fucking bet, and I mean, this is kind of conspiracy crazy person talk, but whatever. That she knew going in that she couldn't fucking hack it, and knew that this was her way to, fucking fight that gender fight, to get out there and fucking.
There's a good chance of that.
I don't trust people. I don't fucking trust people and their intentions anymore. I can't. There's too much of this shit. There's too many people.
Trump won.
Exactly, but there's just too many people fucking lying to put themselves in these positions of martyrdom. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry, I'm not buying your fucking shit anymore. Going into the military, going in, the second they say, okay, you're going to go to basic training, that it's hell. It's fucking literal hell. And you cried, and then now you're going to try to fucking ruin this guy's career? Fuck you.
Yeah.
Well, though, there is a lot of not to kind of go into the separate route, there's a lot of underreported rape allegations that have come out in the military and
absolutely.
Marines for women. And that I will say, if you're really going to try to fight that system, try to fight that system through that. And I'm not saying get raped. Oh my God, that's not my point. But
no, of course
you know
not.
what I mean? Like, try to fight that actual cause. There's so many underreported. Some of them aren't even believed. Some of them are still with their abusers. I know somebody personally who wanted to join the I think it was in Navy. I think it was the Navy. And knowing this person, I knew for a fact they couldn't do it. And my number one opinion of that was, if you could barely handle doing your job, what makes you think that you could take it to a level where you are going to be dealing with people whose arms are blown off?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They were going to be in the medical. They were going to be in the medical field within the Navy or the Army or something like that. I don't want to get too specific because it's going to specify the person. But I remember my number one opinion was, "Oh my fucking God, you've got to be kidding me! You cannot remotely do this."
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
No, fuck that shit. Fuck anybody that does that. No.
Well, I'll definitely keep an eye out and see if this becomes an actual mainstream media kind of article and see if it's out there or if it just flounders away somewhere.
For one, I don't think it will, just because it deals with the military and there's still that overbearing support the troops kind of narrative. You know what I mean? So I could see this kind of not being, headline news. But I mean, I don't know.
We'll see. So here's the next story that will make Arthur's head blow off the top.
Yay.
I don't find them. They just happen to have, come to me. So we did briefly talk about this story, I think, when it happened. Ontario-born Joshua M. Ferguson, who identifies as a non-binary trans and uses pronouns they and them. They received their Ontario birth certificate officially marked with an X, indicating non-binary person.
Congratulations. Like, you did it. Mission accomplished. Woo! Who fucking
They
all
did
for
file
the-
a human rights violation claim, which is, I think, one of the
course.
things that initiated this. So.
Well, of course.
I'm all for the transgender movement.
Mhm.
I really, really am. But we have to have gender markers because we have to be able to specify who you are and what you are. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry. No offense to this person, to them, because I cannot believe I'm saying them to one person, but to them.
Yeah.
It's not. This is beyond breaking tradition, because a lot of people are going to say, oh, you're so stuck in an archaic society.
Yeah.
No, it's not archaic. I am a gay male who likes males. I am a part of the LGBTQ community, and however many letters there are, because I've lost track. And I think that this is too much, because you are either male or female. You cannot be in between. You are either male or female. There is no such thing as in between. And I'm sorry if that's hurting your soul, body, whatever thing you believe in. You're either male or female. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, that's on a biological standpoint. But,
Yeah.
I mean, remember, we can't count out people's feelings nowadays because feelings are what really matter. Nah, this whole thing's fucking just stupid. Like, the licensing, whatever. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's a non-issue. But, I mean, God forbid you get into a car accident or, you know what I mean? Or fucking this former fucking girl, unfortunately, needs a emergency hysterectomy and, everything says fucking he on it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I get it. I do. I get it. Live the life you want. Be comfortable in your skin. I got no beef with that. I literally have zero fucking, how can you hate on that? How can you hate on somebody just wanting to live the life that they feel comfortable with? Cool. It's this kind of shit, though, that bothers me. Like, when you're forcing it amongst the public sector, like, fuck off. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. If I know you personally, then I'll respect who you are. You know what I mean? But don't sit there and think, like, if I'm some cop and I pull you over and I see fucking Z on your fucking license plate, I'm not going to just make fun of you. But I'm an asshole, so whatever.
But to me, this is... I have friends who are... I have quite a few friends that are trans.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always said to them, it's going to take me a while to kind of call you the proper pronoun and the proper name. I said, I've known you for years as blah, blah, blah. But, that changes. However, I'm not going to refer to you as them. This is thy friend, blah, blah, blah. I can never call you he or she. There is no other pronoun. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not going to do this with you. I'm not going to... First of all, let's even look at it from a legal standpoint. If, God forbid, you commit a crime and we put out a sketch of you, are we supposed to put, they are blah, 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 tall?
That's what they'll have to do.
That's what they want.
I can't do this. I cannot do this. I'm also... sorry, I just want to finish a point, Jacqueline. This also goes as far as the women who wear the full-on, the Muslim women who wear on the whole burqa with the eyes covered, taking the photographs. No, I need to see your face for legal purposes. This isn't a conservative point of view that's making you feel like, oh my God, you're attacking me, sue me, bitch. I don't care. How you feel is not what science indicates. It's different. You know what I mean?
I want to go back to like what Arthur was saying. Like, if someone's hurt, someone dies, right? They don't have their birth certificate with them at the time with their X designation on there. How are we going to know? We're going to look at their genitals.
Yep.
And we're going to say, okay, this is a lady, this is a man. It's going to be harder if you're overseas and something like that happens. I don't have a problem with them getting a new birth certificate, but I think instead of having an X, I said this before, I think it should be like, you have what you were born as and what you identify with as now. And if you want to put an X now, that's fine. I don't care. But I do think that we should know what you were born as.
This is for the binary people, right?
Yeah.
We're referring to the binary people. Okay,
yeah, this is binary.
Yeah,
non-binary.
Non-binary, sorry. Because I do... I do agree with the whole transgender movement. That's a little bit different. You know what I mean? Like, you are physically this gender that you have been feeling like you've been since, God knows how long. But for the non-binary people, this is just taking it to a whole different level.
Yep.
This almost seems like the fight that the other side had when we were talking about gay marriage and equality. You know what I mean? And it kind of puts me in a tough spot because I'm a part of that community. But this is beyond my understanding. Like, how do I address you? Like, first of all, if I interview you at work, how am I supposed to say, you know, how, you know what I mean? I'm sorry. There's a level of crazy to this.
The whole thing to me is fucked. I mean, because now there's ways that I can fuck this system over, and all I have to do is say that I feel like I'm something else. We know for a fact that female drivers here in Canada initially pay cheaper rates on their car insurance than young men do. Yeah. So I'm a chick. I just might be a big, bearded, manly-looking chick, but I'm a chick. Give me the fucking female fucking insurance rate.
That's a good idea when Logan starts driving.
You know what I mean? And I don't like saying that stuff because, as I've said before, I hate to be one of those conservatives that just like, oh, no, look at the bad, bad stuff's coming. Yeah. But I'm sorry. People are great at exploitation. And
everybody thought, with same-sex marriages, you were going to have, you know, people just get together so they could get their insurances and their benefits. I don't know if that was as huge as people thought it was going to be.
Marriage equality to me, though, it's not even in the same league as this. Like, marriage equality is a fucking matter of equality. This isn't a matter of equality as far as I'm concerned. I'm sorry, non-binary to me is bullshit. It's bullshit. There's no way that you can literally think you're a healthy individual and wake up every day thinking you're something different. That's not healthy.
I feel like a little bit of both. I feel a little bit, you know, like I'm a little bit country and I'm a little bit rock and roll.
Yeah, but see, then that also undoes their whole fucking narrative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's my whole issue. I got no beef with transgender
I really
people.
try to understand this because I do want to be sympathetic, but I really do have a hard time really grasping it. Like, I understand it on the actual explanation level, but on the mental level, I don't get it.
You know, there's somebody came into my life. Sorry, Ryan, but somebody came into my life whose husband is transgendered, but they still say they're in a gay relationship.
Yeah,
that makes no sense to me. Now, I'm not for or against it. I don't give a fuck who you are or who you want to be. I don't give a shit about that. I truly don't. But the language of the whole thing is what really gets to be confusing to me. And I do believe that before our governments start introducing legislation to kind of force us into using their language, that, you know, a cohesive fucking mission statement essentially is written and the public can get a hold of it and go, okay, this is what I don't fucking understand. Without being preachy, without fucking talking down to us that have lived the status quo. And that's another thing I hate about this whole movement. It's because I'm willing to be educated as to what you're talking about, but do not condescend me. The second you start fucking talking to me in a condescending manner, then I get fucking pissy and I stop respecting who you are. And then I start making the transphobic jokes or however the fuck you want to say it. You know, it's the language to me.
There's a decorum, though, that you do have to have when you are having a discussion with someone about it. And part of it is like you can't lose your temper. I'm not saying that Arthur has huge temper problems, but you can't lose your temper. But to me, it's just I can't deal with, and maybe it's partly my OCD. I can't deal with just not being able to label something.
Yes.
They are there to protect us. I talk about this all the time. The moment we start to blur all the lines with what the law is, it just blurs everything out of proportion. Then you no longer have lines. You no longer have these lines that are there set to protect all of us from the bad guys. You know what I'm saying? From the bad situations that can arise out of this. I'm not saying that you should not be able to what do you call that? Express who you feel like you are, but you should also have an understanding of what science is. This is science. You know what I mean? You are not a they. You are a one-person entity. And
I've argued with somebody over that. Like, you can't be plural. I'm sorry, you can't. Like, I don't accept your plural pronoun. I'm sorry, I won't do it.
I won't do that. Yeah.
No, I just won't. You're an individual.
It's hard. I find it very hard to use, and I try because, you know, my kids have some friends that are, you know, trans and use they and them. Yes. I find it very hard, and I easily slip into he and she, and I don't mean to be offensive, but that's how it goes.
I mean,
that's how it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, we're not earthworms. We're not. You know what I mean? We can't
Okay,
change our
bitch.
fucking sex. Like, we can't do it. You know, I don't care. Again, I don't give a shit if you're a girl and you want to be a boy. I don't give a shit if you're a boy and you want to be a girl. I don't give a fuck if you want to live your life in the gray area in between them both. More fucking power to you. Fuck you. The majority of us don't live our lives that way. You want to fucking put your fucking language onto me? I mean, no, fuck you. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
That to me is the biggest problem.
Well, and
that
I don't
have.
like that immediately you're labeled transphobic because
Right.
you won't say they or them, or
Yeah.
you make a mistake and slip and say that he or she by accident,
Yeah, but
or especially if you slip and say their old sex, right? Like if they're now a them, but they kind
Yeah.
of look more like a woman, but they used to be a he.
yeah.
If you say he, then it's like the most horrible thing in the world, and you don't. Most people are not maliciously doing that.
No. The unfortunate thing is I mean, again, at least with the gay community, which started this kind of new civil rights movement, there was something that we all understood. We got it. You know what I mean? It was all written in red right there in front of us. These men like men, those women like women. That you know what I mean? There was no gray area, so we understood the language. So the backlash, as disgusting as that was, there wasn't as much. But this, I find that a lot of the backlash comes from the fact that the majority of human beings, we just don't understand what the fuck it is you're saying. I don't get
exactly. And what is your point? Like, I don't understand what the point is.
What are you trying to get to?
Sorry,
I don't know. I know that you like labels, Ryan, but I find the labels sometimes even more confusing. Like, people that identify as pansexual are people that are attracted to a gay.
Oh, bitch, I'm not going that far. You're taking it.
No. Hold on. And then, and or to a trans person, or to a non-binary person, or an X person, right? So they're attracted to any of those, and they would date any of those people. I get it, but I just like, is it necessary? Just can't you be like, I'm everything? Like, I don't know.
I mean, what does the B in LGBTQ fucking stand for?
Bisexual.
Right? So we already had that. Why are we making up new words and new fucking language for something that we already fucking understood, that we already know? And that it's exactly that, Ryan. They want to be included, but on a scale where they're more special than those people.
This hurts. Sorry.
No, Ryan, go ahead. You said this hurts.
I was going to say, this hurts the cause that I have been fighting for God knows how long. Because okay, I really am going to try my very best not to blow up on this. I had a person confide in me this weekend that they identified to be a lesbian, who then ended up saying to me, "Oh, I had sexual relations recently with a man." And my face was, "You mean transgender man? Or like a man? A man?" And when I kept saying, "So are you then," in a nice tone, "are you then bisexual?" Right? I was, oh my God, if looks could kill, bitch, I'd be 7 feet under. Give me an extra feet just to make sure I'm really dead. And then I kind of had, and I love what you said, Arthur. I kind of then got bitchy and said, "Well, but because I don't fuck women."
Yeah.
Is what I said. I don't fuck girls. So you have to understand why that's fucking confusing, because it's not like you said to me, "Oh, I tried it." You did this multiple times with multiple people, and you keep on saying you're
not a lesbian.
Yeah.
You're not a lesbian.
You're trying to.
Unless you're turning tricks and you're doing it for money, you're not a lesbian.
Well, part of it is I feel like a lot of people are trying to protect themselves under this LGBT umbrella, and you know what? There are some of us who are really trying to fight a real cause, and we're not trying to lose sight of what the cause is. So I disagree with people like Whoopi and Joy and all these other people who actually say, but people should be able to. No, because if you are able to just express who you are, some people might think, "I want to be a serial killer," and that's not okay. Yeah. There's a point where you have to say, "That's too much, girl." Like,
well, and there's also the controversy with the T part of it, because a trans person, in most cases, would not they would not identify themselves as part of the LGBT because they would consider themselves heterosexual.
Exactly. That's another thing, and I've said this privately in a few conversations. It'll be the first time I say this on the show, but whatever. I live by my statements. Adding the transgendered movement to the LGBTQ movement was horrible. for the gay rights movement.
Yeah,
Absolutely
I don't think
fucking
it's helped the
terrible.
gay rights.
It
You're right.
has honestly set it fucking back, because now the rest of us are equating them with the gay movement. And I mean, again, unfortunately, I mean, not unfortunately, but there should be nobody alive except for the, you know, the very devoutly religious that are against gay people. Seriously.
Yeah.
Realistically, there's no
And
reason for anyone.
They should fuck off too.
They absolutely should go, you know, take a one-way trip to fuck off land. Absolutely. But no, them tagging on to the gay rights movement was so detrimental to the gay rights movement.
Yeah.
And it honestly has set you guys back.
And I understand how in the beginning, when there was no protection for trans people, why they were enfolded into that group.
Yep.
Yes.
Because it is a powerful group that can protect people.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, now it's you know, they're almost stronger than the LGBT.
Well, can I just kind of give out a little bit of what do you call that? A precursor here. None of us are against the transgender movement.
Of course not.
As far as I'm aware. Yeah, none of us are. It is a very. I love that. Thank you, actually, Arthur. You probably just taught me something that I've been fighting with for a very long time. And you said that so eloquently. It is a very different movement. Transgender people are on a league of their own, not in a bad way. They are. I think transgender people. I go back to what the native peoples of the Northern America region are like. They're kind of this magical being who just happen to have been born in the wrong body.
Yeah.
But it's a very different movement. You know, I'm a gay man. Okay, like. It's not a shock. It's not a surprise. And I know I always make these jokes, call me Cynthia Whitestone, do this, do that. I probably kind of am somewhat of a non-binary person, as funny as that is, because I always say, you guys have heard me say this, and my coworkers laugh when I say this all the time. Call me he, she, it, they. As long as you acknowledge me, bitch, I'm happy. It's the truth.
Yeah.
But there is a limit. I am a he. My not my license, my ID says he. I am a male. I suck male penis. I don't do, like, for example, I've been asked, would I ever date a trans man? My response has been a resounding, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not a no, it's not a yes, it's I don't know.
You wouldn't know until you're in the situation if you were even attracted to them. It would depend on the person too, right?
Exactly. Like, but
I could say wholeheartedly no.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't. I would say I probably wouldn't.
You know, and my no is no disrespect to any transgender male or female out there. It's got nothing to do with that, but I'm attracted to biological women, and you are not that. As much as you bitch, moan, and cry and try to change the language that we're allowed to use, will not change the fact that you were a biological male and I am not gay.
Yeah, and people have types though, you know, and I don't like when you try to say that because Arthur wouldn't date a trans woman that he's a transphobic.
No, he's not.
No.
You have a choice to make in who you wish to have sex with or be in a relationship with. And, you know, you might not be a racist, but maybe you don't want to date a black person. You might not like Italians. You might not like Jewish people, whatever the reason. It's not that you hate them and you want them to die. It just might not be your cup of tea.
It's just towing the line a little bit. I kind of disagree with that a little bit. No,
but you know what I mean? Like, I have a type. And it's not to say I don't find black men attractive or Asian men attractive, but I like...
Alpha, bitch.
I know, he's my husband. But I like guys with dark hair and light eyes. You will almost always find me saying, this is the guy that I find sexy or attractive or hot. That's my type. Not to say that I wouldn't be open if I met somebody I was interested in. But when you look at somebody initially, you're going to go by what you see. It's always what you see first. We're humans, right?
Absolutely. We're very visual.
Exactly. We're visual creatures. You know, you are also you are married. For me, I've said this. You guys know me personally, so you can attest to this when I make this statement. I don't date Asians. There's a reason for this. It's a little bit deeper, but I don't date Asians. And it's not because I'm not attracted to them. There are plenty of very handsome Asian men, okay? But
there are.
I don't date them because, there's a possibility of something that I just...
A familial relation. We'll say that.
And after that,
he doesn't
really
want to be a Giuliani and be a cousin fucker or more.
Okay. Well, after that really weird... You guys remember that Ashton Kutcher movie? And, like, they got that voicemail and that they just found out, I think they were, like, cousins or brothers and sisters. I don't want that situation to happen to me, so I'm not interested in that. But, there is. You know, I like my lines drawn. For example, when someone says, I'm 1/8 this and 1/8, bitch, shut the fuck up. Are you black? Are you white? Are you Asian? Are you Pacific Islander? Are you other? You can't have it all.
Well, I
You know
want
what I
to
mean?
briefly talk about, because we were talking about, trans rights and how people feel in their heart. I watched this weekend on Netflix the Rachel Dolezal documentary.
Oh, I can't do it.
Oh my God, here we
So
go.
if anybody remembers Rachel Dolezal, this is the lady who identified as Black. She's a white person by birth. She worked for the how do you say it?
NAACP.
NAACP.
That's it.
Yeah.
I can't say it. And she did a lot of good, but she probably hurt them too by being revealed that she was not a Black person.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that was kind of racist of her to do. The transracial shit to me is fucking, that's immoral.
Okay, exactly.
That's immoral.
Well, let me
You
just say
can't.
this. So, I watched it and I did keep an open mind on it. I tried my best to keep an open mind.
Mhm.
And I think she's ultimately wrong.
Yep.
Because you're taking away the actual experiences of,
Mhm.
genuine Black people and what they go through in life. And she did claim to have been a victim of hate crimes, and she had her quote struggle. That's 100% wrong. But I kind of understood why it started out that way. I'm not saying like the end, but I understand how it went. I think the ball continued to roll downhill until it got out of her control. She allowed it to happen. She's 100% culpable. She allowed it to happen. I'm not making excuses, but think of the people we know. I know at least 5 or 6 white women who have hairstyles like Black women, are only with Black men, talk, quote, Black, cook Black food, only have Black children. Do you know what I mean? So I kind of understand that, how that can start out like that, how you get, you know what I mean? And I know most of these women don't go around saying I'm Black.
Yeah. Well,
right?
that was her issue. It's not, I don't even think the problem with Dolezal was the fact of, her identifying or just immersing herself in Black culture, dating Black men, having mixed kids. I don't think that was the issue. The issue was she lied. You know what I mean? She was caught and she 100%. Fucking lied. You know what I mean?
But she does identify as transracial.
Yeah, that's bullshit. That's bullshit.
Why is that bullshit?
It's just bullshit. I'll never get
this
on board with that. This is my only belief.
I don't know if that's a possibility of somebody being a transracial. Like I said, I feel a little more sorry for her. That's all I'll say. I know she made her own grave and she has to, and trust me, she's laying in it, right?
But you also have to remember that documentary was made by her and her people. It's not like that documentary was done by a third party looking in. Those are people close to her that did that to paint her in a better light.
But it didn't really. Well, do you know what I mean? Like you have her son and her adopted son talking very poorly about her.
Of course.
You have all kinds of people, telling how they feel about her. The director at one point really pushes her. So, I mean, it's not just a pity patty making her look nice. She does come across as just everybody's just saying, why don't you just say you're white for the whole point of the movie? And why don't you just say you're white? And at the very end, when the director pushes her, she finally does come out and say it. But I don't know. I mean, there's a guy on there that's not affiliated with her at all, and he's a Black guy, and he's like, I feel like I'm a white woman. And I'm like, it's Ryan, a white woman.
Well, but this is the thing, and this is going to be very emotional for me to talk about. There are some of us who are actually really, really fighting the system because we are lost within it. Yeah, I'm not going to click on, this is going to sound really fucked up, I'm not going to go click on fucking Black on an application to go get into a college or to go get more money off of the system. There are some of us who literally can't even say what we think or what we believe our citizenships are. Yeah. Because we're so ingrained into a country. But because a system is a system, it's, you know what I mean? Yet you are fighting the system for you to be recognized as something that you're really not. You know what I mean?
I just have one more small example, which I just came up with this on my own. So I didn't read this. She didn't say this. Nobody said this. I just thought of it. Remember, well, I guess we can't remember because we weren't there. But you think back to history and we hear stories about people being captured by Native people and being adopted into the tribes.
Yes.
And being raised. Yeah. And those tribe members would all claim that person was one of their tribe members, native tribe member, even, you know.
She could be a member of their community without fucking saying she's black.
Wow.
That's my issue. My
Yeah.
issue isn't, I don't give a fuck what she identifies as, but you don't have the right to fucking say that you've experienced the same struggles as some racial fucking
Love
demographic.
it.
That's where I
You
think she
don't.
really wrong. She did have a hard life. I'll give her that. But she can't use the term struggle as you're
No.
identifying as a black person because there was
No.
no
Exactly.
racial struggle. She didn't suffer
Exactly.
prejudice or, you know,
Like,
full out racism based
We're
on
in the
color of her
midst
skin.
of the second half of the civil rights movement, and this half is fucking deadly. You know what I mean? Like this
Yeah.
half, people are really
Yeah.
fucking fighting, and the real monsters are
Love
kind of
it.
being pointed at.
Yeah.
And for this fucking lady to tag along on that and try to
Mhm.
claim fucking victimhood off of real
Mhm.
people's real fucking struggles, no, it's disingenuous,
And
and I'll never
that's
accept it.
100% what her critics say, which I completely understand. I was 100% like you, Arthur. I thought she was a dumb bitch and she got what she deserves, and she
Yeah.
still got what she deserved.
Like, if I fucking found out that Reverend Jesse Jackson or Al Sharpton was like, no, I'm a white guy, I'd be like, go
Oh
fuck
my
yourself.
God.
You don't get to
I
say
would be
that.
shooketh.
You know,
like, oh
there's-
my God.
I love that shit. Yes. I just
like-
want Arthur to marry me at this point because I agree with him 110% on this. But I do kind of have a little bit of remorse for Rachel. Okay, I do. Have a little bit of remorse for Rachel. But your struggles, that's like somebody saying to me, I understand the immigration movement. No, you don't, bitch.
Right.
That's
You
not in it.
not.
You don't know.
Get it.
You don't have the
don't
fear
get
of
it.
DACA or immigration or ICE.
Like,
yeah.
It's one thing
When-
to empathize. It's
Yeah.
one thing to say, hey, I see what you're going through and I empathize with it. But to say that you were fucking in it, no, go fuck yourself. Even
Yeah.
look at a guy like Bernie Sanders, who was there fighting in the civil rights movement in the first
Yeah.
half.
Yeah.
Never did he say anything as abhorrent as, well, no, I'm transracial because I was there. I went to
Yeah.
jail for the civil rights movement. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you don't have the right to claim, especially a racial demographic and a
Yeah.
racial demographic that has historically got shit on time and
Yeah.
time again in
Absolutely.
the West.
Especially female black
still,
women.
Right?
You, know?
You don't get to do
Yeah.
that. You
Still
don't get to
Yeah.
do that. It's again, it's very disingenuous. I don't think that she should have had her life ruined, kind of how it was.
It's
But
really bad.
Nowadays,
She can't get a job. She changed her name, by the way. I didn't know this. Because she couldn't even get a job interview, obviously,
Of course
because
not.
of the name.
no
And
one's
she
gonna want to
studied
associate with
what
her.
she studied in school was like all like black history and,
Yeah, of
and
course.
stuff like that. So it's going to be hard for anybody to look at her now, knowing that she's white, and let her come work in their college
Well,
or school or you know.
This is what I had said to my ex-boyfriend Sean once. Oh shit! Never mind. I said his name. Who cares?
It's a very general name. Sean is a very general name.
Very general name. I said to him because he's like, you know, he didn't say it insensitively, but this is what you call white privilege. This is going to make Arthur, I think, laugh hysterically. He's like, I get it. You know, I get it that people don't understand that you're not Chinese. And he said to him, oh, you do? Because you're Chinese?
What the
you
fuck?
you get it? Like, you don't understand what
No,
it's
Arthur
like.
and I can never understand racism.
Yeah. Well, no, when
Well-
no, yes, you can. Yes, you
Yeah,
can.
that's a little different.
Not that kind of racism. Come on.
Of the systemic type, no, you're correct,
Yeah.
because I live in a country that was conquered by white people and all the laws were implemented
Most
by
people
white
aren't
people.
going to look at Arthur and think he's Chinese and be like, you know.
But if I
That's
went to
true.
fucking Nigeria and decided to fucking
Okay.
hack a life for myself out there, I mean, you can take that whole fucking thing of white privilege and shove it up your fucking ass. It's why I hate the term white privilege, because people use it as a fucking blanket statement, as if it's some universal truth. It's not. If I move to
Yeah.
fucking China, do you think the Chinese are going to give a fuck about my complexion?
Yeah,
No,
you'll be a
because I
white devil.
fucking like them.
He'll be a white
Exactly.
devil.
Exactly. Fuck
Well,
off
but
with your
there
white
is-
privilege shit.
But white privilege does exist to an extent.
Here in the
too.
West, yes,
Yeah.
it does. It does.
I hope that it's not offensive when I say that.
No.
Because, and I had said this to my ex, I said to him, well, but Sean, you have to realize that I'll never forget being 13 years old. This is very emotional for me. Talk about this. Going into a doctor's office and literally saying, no, not you. I said this name. And they said, no, that's me. And
Yeah.
having this look on my face that said, I will never live up to that last name.
Yeah.
No matter if it was Liu, which is traditionally Chinese, whether it was, what's the Spanish, Sanchez, whether it is something else,
Smith.
I will not.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I I don't look that part, and it's even hard.
Yeah.
I'm mixed race. You know what? As you guys are
Yeah.
aware, I'm mixed race, and mixed race within, you know, not black.
In the Filipino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I always say, I don't completely look Asian, and so
Well,
a lot
and
of the
Ryan
time-
has, we don't need to say his name, but Ryan has a very Spanish name, last name.
yes, extremely Spanish. Well, because my dad is Spanish. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
it's so hard sometimes for people to understand. Like, I'll never forget my coworker saying, "Oh no, you don't get the Asian struggle because you're half Spanish." And I'll never forget my face going, "What? Are you kidding me?" And they're Asian, and it's the weirdest thing. Like, I don't belong. I've been called a banana. I've told you guys this. I've been called a banana. I've been called this. Rachel, I'm pleading to you, although you probably don't listen to this.
There's nothing else going on.
Yeah, just stop. It's, you know, you have to draw the line somewhere.
And then the name she chose, this is what got me. Like, if you're gonna change your name, Rachel, like just choose like Jessica or you know, Mary. But she went with like a super like strong kind of African, like Nakia or something like that. I can't even remember.
Oh my god, girl, bye,
Yeah.
bitch, bye.
Yeah, because I was left at the end. I'm like, you didn't learn anything.
Nope. And that's the issue, you know, because you get a lot of people sympathizing with her. And I mean, I kind of understand, but I'm not willing to give up my fucking position on it.
Yeah,
But,
no.
you know,
Like I said, I 100 believe she was wrong and she did get what she deserved. Yeah.
It's just, none of us have the right to fucking claim that. Nobody does. And to me, that
unless
is...
you are a person of color like myself.
See, but even
2%.
that,
Oh my
right?
2%, girl, 2%.
You know, like I've joked with a few friends about
Yeah.
that, saying, you know, oh, I'm fucking however many % victim, you know, but for me to honestly go out and buy a fucking dashiki and a fucking Africa pendant and go on about, you know what I mean? I don't have that right.
Even if I went on about the one drop rule. Even if I have one drop, you can't tell I have one drop. So, you know, my life would, even if I was in the slave times, my life would be so much easier because I am completely white and I look completely white.
There are people who passed to be white so they could have a better life.
Yeah.
And they would fear that if they had children, this was very prominent in the 20s, you know, that they would
end up with a black
dark.
baby.
Yeah. People do not seem to understand the real concept of what is the divide that is really going on in the West right now when it comes to, well, the Northern American West. In terms of racial intensity right now. Like, it is so prominent. You can cut it with a fucking butter knife that's frozen that's been put in the freezer. It is literally that intense. And it's crazy that sometimes people don't have the understanding of what's really what is going on, because I'm a part of that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a part of this every day when I live in a predominantly Asian neighborhood. To feel like you don't even belong there, or when you go to a restaurant and you're, oh my God, told that you don't eat traditional Asian foods, or that you don't know how to use chopsticks, or you don't seem to eat a lot of rice, or that you have
Lee Kwan Cook or something, right?
Yeah, it's just shocking. It's shocking to me that people don't understand this, and then the racial divide that goes on even within your race, because you're not light skinned enough, or that your hair is not straight enough, or that you're not fitting the profile. Like, I'll never be the petite Asian boy that, you know, we make fun of calling the twinks that the daddies seem to like. I will always be. I have extremely broad shoulders. Always have. Always will. I'm tall. I have a thick neck. I'll never fit into the stereotype of what is my race, and so I've had to live with this my whole life. And so, Rachel, you have to somewhat learn your lesson in this, and changing your name to Nakia. You're not a Nakia. Your name is Rachel. Rachel. Out. Yeah. You're a white girl.
You should she should have changed her name to fucking Becky Basic Ass White Bitch Kimberly. Like, literally. Like, fuck out of here. You know, fuck you.
Okay, let's talk about this story before the show ends, because I want to talk about this one. We'll have a nice, light, laughing story to end the show. So in a New Jersey school, every day, literally every day, somebody would poop on the football field or on the track. And it was disgusting, obviously, right? The kids have to play their sports out there, and the janitor had to clean it up every day, and it was literally happening every day. So the theory was is it the competing school? Is it a prank? What's going on? So they finally were watching and monitoring, and they found the mystery pooper. Yeah, it was a man by the name of Thomas Tramaglini. But the thing about Thomas Tramaglini is he is a school superintendent.
Oh my God.
Not for that school district for some reason. He was coming to this other place and pooping on their field. We don't know why yet, but can you imagine? You're 42 years old. Now your name is out there and everybody's calling you, of course, pooperintendent.
Well, okay, I really want to know. I can't comment on this. I'm not going to have any conspiracies on this because I don't understand why anybody want to defecate in public like that, especially because I have a fear of public restrooms.
Same.
So fucking weird. Why would you do this? This is a waste of your time.
Well,
you have a bathroom in your apartment.
We've had people caught doing public pooping. Now, he did use the track every day to run. So a lot of times when you run, you do have to poop, apparently. I don't run, so I wouldn't know this to be a fact. But, yeah, apparently that's a thing. So I remember the lady who was out, I think, in Colorado, and she was pooping in the same alleyway every day.
What? Oh, my God.
So, yeah, but this guy, he's been laid off. Suspended with pay, $150,000 a year. He got $150,000 a year, and he's shitting in a field. And he's now being charged with public defecation, lewdness, and littering.
Littering, eh? That's amazing.
Maybe that was the toilet paper. Public defecation as a crime?
Oh yeah,
it's against the law. Yeah, you can't just shit on the street, Ryan.
No, it's
no. I'm not saying you should, but that's weird.
Yeah, no, it's messed up. It's messed up.
This isn't, to me, I was kind of expecting something a little bit more profound in this story. Oh, he's homeless. Bitch, you're pooping on the fields for fun. This is not fun. If you did that in New York, see, this is why New Jerseyans are crazy. Because I would cut a bitch. Okay, if you did this and I was in that school, I would have hunched down. I will say his mugshot is chilling.
That looks like the mugshot of a killer.
Well, it's because he's still holding one in. He's pinching it off. He wasn't able to fucking finish the job.
Oh my God, the eyes are scary. You need to look him up, Ryan. He's scary.
I mean, I haven't went the route of fucking shitting on a fucking school, you know what I mean, to repeatedly shit. But I mean, I could see somebody doing something weird like that.
Serial pooper.
I get it. I kind of get it. Because let's face it, the guy doing that is probably thinking, it's relatively harmless. You just go out there with a rake and you got to clean up my shit. It's funny. Not realizing that, you could be fucking, letting out all kinds of fucking diseases and shit like that. But, you know what I mean? You don't know what the fuck this guy's been eating if he's, since he wants to poop like a raccoon, maybe he has a raccoon's diet and he's out there eating from the garbage bins and shit. You know what I mean?
He's got ringworm and shit in there.
You know what this kind of reminds me of? There's this ominous prediction that supposedly Bill Gates had. I don't know if this is true because I read this on Facebook that apparently we're all going to be, some of us are going to be wiped out, 60% of us because of some weird disease. And then I freaked out this morning. Yeah, and then I freaked out this morning when I read this whole thing that's going on in Australia. I'm like, oh my God, is he going to be, I'm now thinking Thomas is going to be the cause of this. I'm not too far from New Jersey. Listen, I'm an OCD freak. I have weird stuff. I wash my hands. Let me just explain. Wash my hands 3 times with the soap, once, and then another one, and then another one, and then I put on antibacterial on my hands.
Your hands must be dry as shit.
Exactly. But it's actually still very soft. But besides the point, this is just disgusting. I don't play around with poop. As a gay man, I don't play with poop. Okay, I just want to explain I don't play with poop.
I don't think that a lot of people thought that that's what gay men did. But I'm glad you cleared that one up for us, Ryan. Really.
Ryan, what's that called? The Cleveland Steamer? You're not into the Cleveland Steamers?
I am not even anywhere near Cleveland. Okay, I just would have seen this. Okay, if somebody ever tells me,
no wonder our friend Casey hates freaking Ohio so much. The Cleveland Steamer.
If someone ever said to me, "Can you cunnilingus my booty hole?" Never.
Not even through a dental dam, Ryan?
Never. Oh my God. There are things in life that I do not do. And this is, I don't play with poop. I don't play with pee. Spit is to a limit. It's, oh my God. Maybe I'm just super vanilla, but this is disgustingly funny.
I know. I used to always think I'm adventurous, and now I realize I'm like just very vanilla. I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm very vanilla apparently because I don't. To me, sex that's crazy, or like a crazy thing that I would do is, okay, I have peed in a parking lot because I really needed to pee and there was no available bathroom. I was drunk.
Ryan,
I apologize.
I'm a crazy person.
I know, that's crazy, right? But this just takes it to another level. Like, this is a school. There are children there, and then you're also a part of the education system. Yeah. Why would you do something like this? What's wrong with you?
And the thing is like if you poop on the football field, right? That's gonna be hard to find. You know what I mean? So like there I'm out doing my practice and I get tackled and face first into shit.
Oh, and you thought it was dog poop, but it's really human poop.
Yeah.
You know what? I understand why he's doing it, because this is funny as fuck. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna give out his name. But we were in grade 9 or grade 10, and we were out fucking, you know, doing what teenagers do, just roaming the streets, being assholes, being menaces. And we end up down right in front of the high school I was attending. And a buddy of mine straight up just dropped trout and shit right on the sidewalk.
Oh my God.
Okay, so the next day, we spent the entire day pissing ourselves laughing because somebody had stepped in it.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, and we were dying laughing because, I mean, you probably thought that was dog poop, but little do you know, that's poop. Like that's human poop.
That's so gross.
People are so gross. People are so weird.
We're disgusting.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying I'm the cleanest person in the world. My OCD really kind of just takes over a lot of the times. I don't even fuck around with somebody who goes to the bathroom and doesn't wash their hand. Like, okay.
I just don't know how people can just do that. Like, you know, growing up, I grew up in metro housing, and you'd come down the stairs or go in the elevator, and you'd see a piss or a poop in the hallway or the elevator.
Yeah.
And I never understood how there was no way that my bowels would release a poop in an elevator unless it was literally explosive diarrhea that I couldn't.
And even then, I would still
get to my apartment. It would still be all in my pants. Yeah. Because I wouldn't pull my pants down and shit everywhere. The idea of somebody looking at my shit traumatizes me.
I don't know. I know I've done it. Yeah. As a kid, I know I did it. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember the movie Candyman.
Yes.
When I saw that, I was fucking 6. I was too scared to use a bathroom for about a month. Luckily, it was summertime. So out behind 90s Mornell, I just kept shitting on the sidewalk. I was way too scared to go into any bathroom. Don't give a fuck. Don't give a fuck.
Not a man or a woman.
Yeah, but that just says I still have it in me to go poop on the street. And like,
public shitter.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would do it. I mean, not consistently and not in the same place over and over and over again, because that's, you know, a modus operandi, and that's how you get caught. You know what I mean? But
Arthur's gonna randomly shit all over Oshawa, but he's not gonna get caught.
Oh no, I won't get caught. I'm way smarter than the average street shitter.
Some of us have a little bit more decorum than this. I don't. Jacqueline and I share the same fear. Apparently, we have a fear of public bathrooms.
Yeah,
I don't use that. I feel like other people can smell my poops, and I don't want you to even smell my poop.
I have a product called VI Poo now that I bring with me everywhere.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yes, and I remember when we were driving down east. When we were driving down east, I made Marley come into the bathroom and run the hand dryer so that there wouldn't even be any pooping noises.
See, like, I'm the kind of guy that would use a public bathroom, not even close the door and talk to you while I'm taking a shit.
Oh
Fuck
my
you.
God, I can't. I don't even let Scott come into the bathroom while I'm pooping.
Everyone fucking poops. I don't care. Oh,
I know, but like,
poop smells funny. Yeah, of course, because I just ate fucking 4 days worth of McDonald's.
I know exactly where my poop phobia came from.
You know,
and I was traumatized because I pooped. So I used to be friends with this girl named Tara, and I pooped in her toilet. And I was only maybe 9 or 10, and the toilet broke, of course. And
oh my God,
Mom had to come in, and she was like, "Whoa, that's a giant poop!" And she laughed at me, and so I was traumatized ever since then.
I'll never forget when I was living with somebody, and I had used the bathroom, and I came out, and you know, I thought I had sprayed enough, and they commented when they went inside saying, "Wow, that's some rank shit." I was like, "Oh my God." I was like, you cannot say stuff like that to me. And I literally was in tears, and this person was like, why are you crying? I'm like, because you commented on my poop.
It's awful. No, after my nephew's wedding, I did a poop, and that smell lingered for like 2 hours, and it was like mortifying. Everybody had come back to my house. Arthur was here.
Yep.
All my nieces and nephews were here, and that smell just lingered for 2 hours. I literally wanted to
What kind of
die.
poop did you have?
Like,
Wedding food.
I'm the kind of guy that would fucking drag you in the bathroom to show you an impressive one. Like, I don't give
Oh
a
my
fuck.
God.
I got zero shame.
No.
And don't say, oh my God, Jacqueline, because it's you guys that instilled that no shame in me. So it's all your fault that Arthur.
Whatever. I had poop shame, so.
But that's amazing, though. A fucking
Yeah.
serial pooper. Like, out of all the bullshit crime and all that kind of stuff that's going on, like, this is a good one. I enjoy
Well,
it.
and that's what he's going down for. At least he didn't diddle little kids, as far as we know. So.
Yeah, right. It
As
could
far
have
as
been a hell of a
we're
lot
aware.
worse. It could. I mean, fuck. Maybe it was something sexual, and it's not
Oh,
funny
God,
anymore.
stop. No,
Maybe that was it.
No.
I wonder if he, I wonder if he has like an Instagram where you
Oh
take
my
his
God.
poop and then you take real, artistic shots of it where it was
You
at.
know,
Oh,
there's a movie
God.
from the 80s called Blue Moon. It starred Kiefer Sutherland, a very young, handsome Kiefer Sutherland. And he's like kind of a weird guy. I mean, maybe he would have been autistic today or Asperger's, but he's a weird, quirky guy. And his thing is to take pictures of dog poop on the sidewalk.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Yeah, and he
That's
hangs them
disgusting.
up and he develops them and hangs them up in his room. And yeah, he's
Who
very
does
strange.
that?
I'm just saying it was a movie.
No, that's what I'm going with. This guy got his kicks out of it. Even him getting caught. He just realized his fetish, and now they're going to be finding different human bodily fluids left around.
Oh, God. Okay, well, thanks for listening. We'll be back on Wednesday at our regular time. Have a good couple days, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, take care.
Yes.